Yes, guys. Hopefully you guys can all hear me fine. You can hear the beats. I'm assuming that it's all going to be working properly, so I'll go ahead and get started. Thank you everyone for joining me today. If you're watching for fun or you're part of the squad, you're very welcome here. Thank you very much. Big ups to all of the Discord supporters for making these feedback streams possible by submitting tracks. We have 12 songs to get through today, so that's awesome. It's a good number. I've just had a massive admin couple of days. I've just been in absolute chaos, filing, accounting, all this tax stuff, It's been an absolute nightmare, and I've literally just finished about an hour ago after 48 hours of chaos. So I'm very excited because this stream, I was I have to get everything done before I start this stream so I can really enjoy it and celebrate, So let's get into it, my G's. We're going to kick off then with Daz. I wanted to put Daz first because I thought, I ordered the tracks by alphabetically by their name. So Australian Skies was first, but I was also hoping that Daz might be still awake for the stream, but he's in Australia, so we're not sure. But anyway, we're going to start with Australian Skies by Daz. I'm going to let the music do the talking mostly today, and yeah, let's go. The sand people scare easily, but they'll be back, and in greater number. Daz, great to have you back. Not sure if you're with us on the stream right now, but that was amazing. I really enjoyed that. Everyone in the chat absolutely loved it. You had some great comments there. Hopefully you can check them all out and catch up. But yeah, Prodigy vibes, Chemical Brothers vibes, Crystal Method vibes. I can't really fault that song at all, really. You've got a real natural talent for that kind of genre, you know? I hope you're still making your Neurofunk stuff as well, but also at the same time, the same token, yeah, I really hope that you continue making stuff like this as well, because it sounds sick, man. It sounds absolutely sick. Loving it. All right. Yeah, we'll continue on with Makes Champion Sounds. And I'm just going to check something out in the chat as well, because someone can't comment or something like that. So I'll see what's going on there. If Narlo's not able to comment, I'm not sure why that is. Maybe he's newly subscribed. That could also be why. Sometimes if you're not subscribed, it takes a while. But I'll have a look at that. Anyway, let's continue. Absolute banger from Daz to get things started. So big ups. Yeah, also, guys, like the video as well. It'll help us reach more people, get all your music heard by more people. So make sure you like the video, comment on the actual video as well, share it as well where you can. And let's continue then with Makes Champion Sounds. Oh well, that was cool, man. That was really cool. Um, by the way, I've just been checking Narlo. If you're, I don't think you're blocked because I've checked and you're not. Your name's not on there unless you've got a different name. I'll try and hit you up in Discord to see what's going on. I'm just having to reinstall Discord again, but I'll hit you up during the music to make sure you're involved as well in the chat. But it could also be that you haven't subscribed to the channel and you need to wait 10 minutes after you've subscribed as well. So it could be because of that. Anyway, so that was great, Makes. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed that. I actually thought the kick and snare could have been a little bit better in my opinion. I know that's an easy thing to say, but yeah, I found the kick and snare were like quite yeah, I think the sound selection like could have like really just leveled up the whole track if those were a bit nicer, you know. They almost felt like a tiny bit sort of over compressed or like a little bit dated kind of sounding as well, you know. But the whole rest of the tune was great though. It's only really that. It's the only really thing only thing that really stood out to me. But yeah, just the drums, you know, a little bit more life in them would have been lovely. But yeah, mostly just from the sound selection of the kick and snare. But yeah, the rest of the track was awesome. Really, really nice. Yeah, you've always got that. I can always tell it's you because you've always got that really nice, deep and funky kind of flow. And this time, I think the atmospheres were quite different though, actually. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. Thank you very much, sir. All right. I can't believe this. So now we have to really come together as a community and celebrate because this is absolutely amazing. Right here, Kerry, aka Just Too Lazy, who's been with me on Discord for donkey's years, and I love you very much, bro, and you know that. He's finally, I think, submitted his first ever, or almost first ever. I think he might have had a little go on a remix once. But basically, might as well say it's his first ever submission. So yeah, we're all going to be super supportive to Kerry because he's I've wanted him to submit for so long, and he's finally come around to do it. So whatever he's done, I'm going to only praise it now. So whatever it is, it's going to be amazing. All right, this is Cigarette by Just Too Lazy. Cover. Well, that was actually no joke. I actually was really feeling that bass line melody. Actually, there was a part towards the second part where it sort of, I felt like it kind of went a little bit out of time. You know? Yeah, just in this part here. It's like just a few moments where some of the sort of top loops or the drum breaks or loops don't really line up so well, you know. Yeah, just that part of the end where there was a bit of a timing issue with some of the sort of transients there. But the whole first part of the track was great. I like the intro as well, and I definitely like the bass melody. Yeah, I won't play the whole thing again twice, but yeah, I really like the first drop and stuff. Really sick. Well done, Kerry. Yeah, he is. There he is. I got Dan back in. Yeah, not sure what went on there. Didn't realise you might have been on the naughty list by mistake, but we got you back now, so that's all that matters. Yeah, so got you back just in time because we got your track in two ticks. Anyway, Kerry, well done. Thank you so much. I'm super excited that you submitted a track today. Really, really proud of you, mate. I hope everything's going well for you as well. And hope you keep it up. Let's go. Good stuff. All right. Splinters next. My G with his own YouTube channel on sobriety, which is something I'm still barely doing. Nah, I'm well on the sobriety train. So anyway, Decoherence it's called, this one. So yeah, it's got that real nice deep UK sound, Splinters, that he's been slowly crafting or refining, I should say. So yes, let's look forward to this together. And well, we don't need to look forward to it anymore because I'm going to press play. So here we go, play.
Coming from the UK.
Inner city thing that 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 inner city thing that
Thank you for the detailed tremolo on the outro. That was excellent, wasn't it? I'm really in two minds about this one because I was thinking the whole time, I was thinking the kick drum and like the bass or lack thereof underneath it. I was really thinking like, oh, I just want that kick to have like a massive 808 underneath it every time it hits or something like that, you know? I was like, I really want this booming bass like along with the kick, you know? But the other bass you've got is excellent. It's just like the kick drum on its own. I felt like it's very like mid-range and toppy and not much low end in it. But at the same token, it kind of works as well. So that's why I was in two minds about it. You know, I was trying to like EQ out some more low end on the kick because I was kind of like really fiending for it. You know, I was really fiending for some more low end on the kick. But at the same time, the whole track was perfect as well, you know, so I don't want to overstep my boundaries either. So yeah, it had a really, I said it's like a deep UK kind of sound, then you even had the vocal in there to confirm it. But yeah, man, that was sick. Like it felt so like professional, and I love how you arranged the vocals. Just the whole structure felt very professional. Yeah, really like maybe a Metalheadz kind of track or something. One of those sort of labels, you know. Really, really nice. Not really anything I can add to it other than I kind of wish there was more low end on the kick, but other people might disagree with me on that. So there we go. You got some great feedback on that one. Boomy kick would make it less melty. Yeah, see, there you go. I thought I'd have some pushback on that. Yeah, it's one of those tunes, really, isn't it? It's one of those tunes. Maybe you could just get away with that, you know. From my ear, I was really like hoping for extra bass under the kick, but I don't think it's absolutely essential either. Anyway, good, great vibe, Andy D, indeed. And we've got Andy D coming on later. Can't wait to see what he's been up to. But yeah, man, thank you, Splinters. I'll leave you with that. That's just my little one piece of, you know, feedback from me. But you've got great feedback from the others, and you can feel free to disregard what I said. Yeah, all right, let's crack on then. We've got another 8 tunes to get through still, so let's go. We got Narlo back in the chat. Dream of You. If you want the reload, you have to call for the reload. Everything airy for boss. Well, Narlo, that was really, really great. And I really like that. That had a really nice boogie bass line to it. Really made me want to dance that tune. Gave me the most dancing kind of vibes, you know? How can I put it? Yeah, it teased me the most in wanting to have a boogie so far. I've really, really enjoyed that. It was just the perfect balance of like playfulness with like coolness as well, and a little old school feeling. I really like the low end as well in this one. It was really, really on point. You really smashed the low end. It felt really, really nice and warm down there. Yeah. We can definitely party to this one in Zion. Definitely. Yeah, man. Good mix. If I could give you any feedback, it'd be really something I noticed in the bass. It's really small though. Yeah, I have the bass there actually on its own. I can have a little look at it. I was just wondering about that bass line. I think like the high end of it like isn't this is me being really over analytical, by the way. You don't have to use this advice, but the high end, the high end has like this buzzy kind of element to it. I wish that would be expanded upon and made more stereo as well. So you have like an extra detailed layer in the high end, really convoluted, like maybe with that little buzz sound, kind of taking that part but like spreading it out so it's like a bit, almost like a bit more, little extra detail on top, still convoluted. That would be really cool, I think. And as far as the low end goes, I feel where was it? You could have like a tiny little notch in there somewhere in this sort of area. I think it would clear out a little bit of mud and make it slightly more defined. Not that it needs it, it's definitely fine how it is, but you could probably get even more definition with a little scoop somewhere around here. That's all I'll say though, because the rest of the track was awesome. Okay, so I don't want to detract too much from how good it was. I was just being very over analytical on the bass sound design. 90% at least of it is perfect though, I would say. So yeah, but I try to keep these feedback streams mostly these days like a community fun activity. You know, I don't want to like spend ages taking apart everyone's track. You know, I'm here just to try and enjoy the music as much as I can. But yeah, anyway, that was great though. I really, really like that. So we're almost halfway through then. Okay, so and take some advice from the other guys in the chat as well. Leonardo, I do these feedback streams about once a month or once every 5 weeks or so, and they're all via Patreon. So you have to be in Discord to submit. That's the kind of the biggest, I guess it's the biggest thing about my Patreon, really. That's what it's sort of become over the years, is now it's this listening party, you know, and that's sort of one of the main benefits of joining, because it's obviously we have the community chat every day with, you know, the Discord and, you know, everyone talking to each other and helping each other out. But then this is that time of the month where we get together and sort of have a little community event, you know. So that's kind of how the Patreon has evolved naturally, you know. But anyway, but yeah, come and join us in our next one if you want. We'd love to have you in there. We've definitely got space for a couple more people. I can probably do 20 tracks, to be honest. I'd maybe even more. I'd still enjoy that as well. So I think the last stream we had a lot as well, though, didn't we? I think we had the last few streams recently have been lots of submissions, which is great. Anyway, let's go then. Tendo from UK. Thank you for rejoining my Discord recently, and let's see what you've been up to then with Formula 4. Really, really nice Tendo. Very, very powerful. Phobos, you're absolutely right there. When I open the EQ, the track's almost perfect. Funny story, quick story. When I was studying at university, I had a lecturer, a professor who was a German, and he was one of the one. I studied music production, and he was one of the ones who pushed me the most. He was very cold, I would say. He wanted me to succeed in the music industry, and he was really letting me know what it takes. And he was like saying, so what are you willing to sacrifice then? And at the time, I didn't really want to sacrifice anything. I just wanted to have fun, But he was right. He was always right. What he said, I didn't want to hear it at the time. But he was when I first showed him my tracks at university, before I actually submitted to before I got into university, I had an interview with him, and I showed him my drum and bass tracks, and he would just sit there with his EQ. He had a hardware EQ though, and he'd just be tweaking them. And I was like thinking, I've already EQ'd them, mate. I've already done it. But no, when I played them to him, he went straight to his EQ and he changed everything around. I was like, okay, I've done it all wrong then, have I? He's like, yes. Yes, no, you need more there, less here, more there, less here, more there. He knew you had to mix properly, And so I feel like I've become a little bit like him. But no, anyway, so with my EQing tip here, so for me, it sounds great, powerful. I would like to have a little less snare and a little bit more mid bass. That's what I really want, So you've got the snare really slamming 100%, It doesn't have to be so bright and powerful. There's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't need to be as bright and powerful as it is in the mix. Often I find snares in this kind of style sound a little bit better, a little bit more reverbed and with more depth, pushed a little bit more to the middle ground. You've got it right at the front. I'd probably push it a bit further back still. I'd actually bring the mids closer and the snare back. So a bit of 50-50, That's how I would really balance it to make it perfect. Okay? That's just from my opinion. I think that would work really well though. I love the mid basses, especially in this area. Actually, not so much. That one's already quite bright, but there's another one. Yeah, this one here that's sort of in the background, this had this sort of arpeggiated kind of vibe to it, funky arpeggiated synth bass vibe. That one, I think, could be really great with like a bit more sort of treble, and maybe that could have a bit more, and then the snare could have like a little bit less. With the snare, you could also take any layers that are on it already in the high end and just convolute them and soften them a bit more, so that'll naturally push the snare back a bit. You don't have to. I might knock it down a dB as well, but I probably would try and soften the sound design on the high end like a little bit to get a slight bit more depth. They'll naturally push it back a bit. Then I think it'd be perfect, really. But yeah, that's just my little advice for that one. Oh, see you soon then, Dan. Thanks for submitting. All right, let's continue then. We've got a bunch of tunes still. Phobos with his unnamed track. So yeah, got some free advice for you guys today. Well, you're a part of my Patreon anyway, and you support me, so I've got to give something back, haven't I? So here we go. Phobos, Liquid DNB starter. Let's go. So good so far, Phobos. You know what you really need, just before I forget? You need something like on to do like depth, like rhythmical depth splashes on top of the groove that you've got. So you want like a, maybe like firstly just a single atmosphere shot, just like a da, and then a something like that. You can make it with white noise, or you can use a couple of different things. But if you imagine, like, as I move my hand, like on the you know, it's like da, da. It probably sounds a bit weird, but that's what's in my head. But yeah, like you'd sort of have these like splashes of depth where something happens. Could be a little percussion one-shot thing. Could be like ride splashes. Could be white noise. But like these sort of rhythmical injections of depth on top of what you've got going, and it'll be perfect. You know, I think it'll be really, really sick. But really, really clean so far. Loving where it's heading. Great that you've recycled an old project. That's always fun. But yeah, man, keep going. I think you know what you're doing. Just get it finished, and we'll get you. We need to get you on the label at some point. Hopefully this year. But if not, then at least by the start of next year, because you're almost at that level now. You just need to get those 100% compositions finished still. You know. But yeah, you got the sound design skills, so I know you can do it. All right. Let's continue then. We've got Ruin/Run. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at pronouncing your guys' names. I think it's Ruin though, isn't it? So with Ruin with Malintent. Track number 8. Let's go. West side, when we ride, come equipped with game. We boss on bad boys for life.
First of all, fuck your bitch in the click you claim.
You claim to be a player, but your wife. Is there a heaven for a G? I just don't know. We'll find out one day. But yeah, that was amazing. I really, really like that. If this part of the stream gets muted at some point in the future, you'll know why that was. But yeah, aside from that, the rest of the tune was really, really sweet, actually. I just kind of want to remember the mix down. I was so focused on trying to remember the other Tupac lyrics. But I did appreciate the mix was very good. I just want to have one more little reload. Yeah, it was really sick. Yeah, it's almost like the lyrics distracted me too much from of how good the actual song was, you know? It's really, really clean. It's really crispy. Lots of detail, good layering. Not really anything to say about it, really. Really great. Nice energy changes, good little lead sounds. Yeah, I think it would be, the track would stand alone. I think the track would stand really well on its own, even without the popular lyrics, you know? Though I would say you don't have, like, it's up to you, obviously. You want to do a little homage kind of thing, that's cool. But I think even without that, it would still be just as good, in my opinion, you know? But yeah, really, really nice. Really like that. It's funny that you put in some Tupac, actually, because I'm on a massive Tupac binge in the last month. Like, I think August is probably my most played on Spotify. I've just been rinsing one of his albums, Are You Still Down? That's such a good album. But yeah, I've been well into that recently, so you've kind of you've tickled my ears with that. Anyway, yeah, feedback wise though, I mean, I really actually think the whole composition sounds excellent. It sounds like all of the sound design and the layering and the mixing sounds really, really good. So not really much else to say other than it would still be good as it is without lyrics. I'd still enjoy it just as much, you know. Anyway, Andy D, here to raise hell. Here they call him the Hellraiser. No, they don't really. But Andy D, he's got an absolutely wonderful mind for composing drum and bass. So we're all very excited for this. On My Time. Let's go.
5, 6, and dragging just a hair. You're rushing. Dragging. Rushing. Not quite my tempo. 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 Not my tempo. Tempo. Not my tempo. Tempo.
Really, really great, Andy. Firstly, congratulations for creating such a great tune. Secondly, I'm going to reassure you that you're completely in the right direction with your mix downs. The tracks are sounding so much better these days. This one's just as good as the last, if not just as good. So you've clearly leveled up your whole mix down game since what was it, 1 year ago or 1.5 years ago when I was complaining at you. So, but since then, it's like you haven't made mistakes again that you did before. You know, you've got your ears got better at putting things in the right spots. Although your compositions are really, got lots going on, you've always got that separation in there now. So you've got the separation between the sounds and they all kind of work together. So yeah, really good. Yeah, the kick and snare, Kerry, as you were mentioning, they're really good. They're really good, really, really powerful and punchy and dynamic, I would say.
Not quite my tempo.
Yeah, they really underpin the whole track and give you the perfect foundation, If I would complain, I would say they are just more functional kick and snare, They don't scream with, oh my god, here's this new kick and snare idea. It's very functional, heavy neurofunk drum and bass kick and snare vibe, which is absolutely fine, I think, for this tune. So they sound really, really well, high quality and well mixed. So yeah, good. I love your drum fills, though, especially. I think your drum fills in this are what really make it stand out. I know you played the drums anyway, so it should be your forte. I want to see you evolve to be like the John Bonham of drum and bass production. I want just more drum fills, with big reverbs on and stuff like that. Like when the levy breaks, just big, massive, over the top drum fills that just gonna take just going off on a solo in the track. That'd be so cool. But yeah, man, I love your drums. Your drums are so nice. The fills that you've got, and this bit's all really cool as well. You kind of slow down a bit, but you've got this atmosphere in the background that's still really nice as well. Really nice atmospheres in the back. The sound I wasn't super sold on was this lead sound. This da 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 da. Just that element in the track itself. If you took that out of the track, I probably would like the song more, but other people might not. And it does have a place in adding variety and that. But for me, that sound specifically takes a little bit away from the dark vibe of the tune, So that's my least favorite part of the song. But the rest of it is excellent, though, So don't feel like you have to take it out just because I said so either. If it's part of the main narrative for you, Those fills, those drum fills though, with the snare sound. That's so nice. That might have to be the inspiration. Oh, please do, man. Please do that, because they're my favourite band as well. And I'd love to see you do something like that. Like take the drum sound from When the Levee Breaks and like try and try to recreate it. No, like try and like give this like over the top, like convoluted reverb kind of drum sound. You know, that'd be really cool. And like even if you just use it as a fill somewhere, that'd be sick, man. All right, bro. Let's continue then. We've got 3 tracks left, and then time for dinner, I suppose. Maybe I haven't really eaten much yet, so I'll stop yapping now. Anyway, sorry everyone. Juki, Shadow Beasts, my G. Let's go.
In the night where the shadows crawl, no sound, no whisper, no sign at all. Teeth like razors, eyes that glow. They're here, they're near, you'll never know. Run fast, don't look behind. Shadow beasts, they haunt your mind. The night where the shadows crawl, no sound, no whisper, no sign at all. Teeth like razors, eyes that glow. They're here, they're near, you'll never know. Run fast, don't look behind. Shadow beasts, they haunt your mind. Shadow beasts. Teeth like razors, eyes that glow. They're here, they're near, you'll never know. Run fast, don't look behind. Shadow beasts, they haunt your mind. Shadow beasts.
So sick, man. So sick. Juki's stealing the show there. Oh, that is really, I'm really happy for you, because we've done 4 lessons recently, and this is a clear level up since our last lesson. I'm really impressed. The mix down was excellent. It was a lot more clarity, a lot more power, and like space in the mix. Drums sounded really nice as well. I love the snares, like super natural snare sounds. I think one of my favorite snares that I've heard on this stream, actually. I love like natural snares, like in drum and bass, you know, because we hear the snare like so often. Like I find that often those sort of really bright synthetic snares, they just get really tiring on the ears quickly, you know. That's why I think like natural snares always work so much nicer, you know. I love that one. Yeah, I won't give you any negative feedback or constructive feedback for this one really, because it's a clear level up since I last saw you, like what was it, a few weeks ago, you know. It's a real level up since then, so only praises to you for today. Really, really good. Yeah, really impressed with that. I was really enjoying it. You stole the show there a bit for me. Great mix down. Okay. Cool. Well, if I can say his name right, which I probably won't, Mavizim, is that it? I'm so sorry if I got it wrong again, but I think it's Mavizim. So anyway, Stravinsky versus Machines. Really, really excited for this one as well. And then we got Ride to finish up with after that. So only 2 left, guys. Let's go. Also, yeah, thanks for liking as well. Thanks for sharing the video, leaving a comment on the YouTube video. It's on the live video as well itself, not just in the chat, but also on the actual video. If you comment there as well, it will help as well. Help all you guys get your tracks heard by more people. Anyway, let's go. Mavizim, Stravinsky versus Machines. Nice little. There's a little trumpet at the end. Yeah, good stuff, man. Really, really nice. I could totally see the vibe you're going for with that one. Actually, most of the low end is actually pretty decent, and the orchestral parts have got quite a nice fullness to them as well. It's mostly the drums. It's mostly the drums, as Riot says as well. The snare needs to be layered or a bit brighter. So it's probably a little combination, I would say. I would say that the mixing would need a little bit more work to get those drums to really pop through a little nicer. But the main thing would be probably layering up that snare, especially the snare that needs the most high end. That really feels like it's lacking in high end a lot, you know? You can kind of get away with the kick where it is, but the snare, you can't really get away with it like that yet, I don't think. It definitely needs another fair bit of treatment or layering, you know? But yeah, I can totally feel where you're going for on the drop especially. Oh, is it over here, isn't it? It's a long one, isn't it? Yeah, I totally feel like the direction and the groove that you're going for, which is quite nice. And the low end of it is actually not too bad. But yeah, I think those drums are like 60% of where they need to be. They need to be like another 40% more, in my opinion, you know? So it's going to come from a bit of layering, maybe redoing the sound selection a bit, and a bit of extra mixing, you know? But great composition though. I love a bit of the older orchestral flavour, that kind of hybrid style. Very, very nice. All right then, my G's. Last one for today, and then it's time for me to have a little bit of food or something like that. So thank you all so much so far. It's been really, really fun. Yes, let's go then with our last, and lest you not forget, DJ Riot has been he's in my first 3 ever patron supporters, and he's been a patron supporter I think for about 4 or 5 years. So thank you so much, Riot, for all the years that you've been supporting, and look forward to hearing Wobble Mountain. Let's go. right, my G's. Good stuff. Finishing off with the Wobble Mountain there. That was really cool. It really had its own identity, this song. I could really tell why you named it Wobble Mountain. It's perfect. I was imagining myself on top of the Wobble Mountain. It was very green and peaceful. Yes, I wasn't too big of a fan of the intro per se. I felt like it. I mean, when the drop came in, it was a lot nicer to me. The whole sort of arrangement, you know. But also, I'd be careful a little bit of the. I think there's some conflicting in the high end going on, and you've got these sort of hats or symbols in the high end that are really, really on the edge of, been really red lined. I kind of quite like them how they are, but I feel like they still might be a bit too much. Or maybe it's not that they're too loud, but I think that they conflict a little bit with some of the other bits in the track. So there's some, I would have to take a deeper look under the hood, but there's some high-end conflict going on that makes it not quite as professional yet, But it's almost there. You get moments where your transients between certain things, like certain of those hi-hat cymbal things or the snare, are like a little iffy, like they're kind of like almost a bit off, so you're kind of doing okay with the timing, but there's some areas where I feel the timing was like really on the edge of like being a little too like unsynced. Yeah, some of these like hi-hat things, transients are a bit too sharp on them, and then in those moments they're conflicting a little bit with certain things, and the timing is like slightly off on some of them. But yeah, I can't tell you which one it is. I can just hear that there's a bit of high-end conflict stuff that needs to be smoothed out a bit, in the mix. But yeah, man, apart from that, I really like the whole kind of concept of the track. Like, it does really have it does sound exactly how it's named. Anyway, yeah, it's been really great. It's been really great, guys. Thank you so much for all of your submissions today. Nice to end on this one as well. Nice fun vibe. But yeah, I've been very impressed actually with everyone. Just doing a quick little summary debriefing. I really, really like the direction that Daz is going in with the breakbeat stuff. I think you're really coming into your own there, Daz, with that kind of style. It sounded really like just enjoyable from start to finish, Makes you very consistent. I think just with the drums, a little bit of leveling up there, and then it would just be perfect, Like the kick and snare, a little bit of improvement on like being a bit more strict on the sound selection, then it'll be great. Kerry, thank you so much for joining in. I really hope you join in on our next one as well. Keep going. I'm really impressed by the sort of, the bass work that you've done as well in this one. Little melody. Decoherence, you're really smashing it now. Like, you're really getting a professional sound. So just keep going. I think it's just going to be banger after banger from you from this point out. So well done. Nalo as well. You really made me dance with that one. That was really, really, really fun to listen to. Great low end. Tendo as well. Really powerful mix. Tiny bit of adjustments in the sort of depth of things in the high end. And I think it's perfect, Phobos, just got to get you over that finish line. You know what you're doing. Ruin. Yeah, really, really cool. As I mentioned before, like really excellent mix down, excellent layering and sound selection. Nothing wrong with it at all, really. Would have been good without vocals too, as I mentioned before. But yeah, really, really nice. Andy as well. 10 out of 10 marks for consistency. And look forward to see what you come up with next. I think taking that, I've got another student I'm working on who's really, really great at guitar. I think I've mentioned this before, but he's, shame he's not in the Discord, but he's a separate student I have. And I'm really pushing him to lead more with his guitar arrangements and base the song around that, So I kind of feel like with you as well, it's like, because you obviously got, your drums are so good and you've got experience with drums, I would say really lean into that more and like compose things around that, you know, make the drums like the centerpiece of the track, you know, try to get the most advanced sound of drums you can as well, like try to like create your own drum sound, like try to keep refining and convoluting your layers and trying to just get that like real Andy D drum sound, you know, because right now it's still like very like powerful and neurofunk, but still a bit industry standard kind of thing, you know, like not generic, but it falls into a certain category, I would say, you know. But I'd really love to hear you evolve your actual drum sound to try and do something even new, you know. But it's going in a great direction though. Yeah, Juki, that was a great level up. I'm really impressed with that. Mavism as well, great ideas with the orchestral stuff. Just like to see you level up your sound quality next, really. Just your mix downs and your sound selection in both of those things, you know. And yeah, Ride, I think you've always got something great to offer. But yeah, just a couple of like tweaks to like get that real like professional finish. It will really be helpful for you as well, I think, you know. But that's it for today, my G's. That's it. Thank you guys so much for coming on and sharing your music with me and with the world. Hope I did you proud with my presentation here. And yeah, look forward to chatting with you guys in the Discord, and we'll do another feedback stream like this in maybe 4 or 5 or 6 weeks time, maybe 5 weeks or so from now. End of September or beginning of October, something like that. We'll have the next one in. Maybe we'll do a special themed live stream if I can think of a good concept as well for the next one. So yeah, that's it from me today, my friends. Thank you all so much. One more reminder as well. I got a brand new Serum preset pack. I know a bunch of you have already grabbed it. I know Andy has. I think Kerry has as well, maybe. And Juki as well. Probably some more people who I'd failed to mention. So thank you all for supporting me by grabbing my new preset pack, Envy, which is still on sale until Sunday night. And yeah, if you guys ever want to dive in under the hood on one of your tracks with me, you know where I am for one-on-one lessons. Hit me up. And yeah, that's it from me today then, my friends. Have a great weekend, everyone. More from me very soon. Much love.